Howdy folks, welcome back. Next dish, super duper simple. So what we're going to look at is macaroni and cheese. Can't really do it wrong, but there's a few things you can do that definitely I think help. So there's two different ways of doing this, and some haters are going to look at this today and go, he didn't make a roux, that's not traditional. You are correct. What I'm going to make today is Obies mac and cheese. Now you can go through the effort, if you like, of omitting cream, which is what I'm going to use, and actually creating like a roux. So that's sort of white sauce. So get your butter going, add flour, cook it out, add milk, smooth it, and then add cheese to that. I don't have the time anymore, or most days the energy. So what I'm going to do today is I've got my pan heating up there. I'm going to add some oil. Literally just a tablespoon of maybe. As soon as that's hot, so I've got a pot there going for some macaroni to go into, and I'm actually using little macaroni as you would. I have spring onion chopped. Literally, it's my favourite bit. Spring onion goes in. There's some beautiful parsley here. I like parsley because it adds that kind of fresh flavour to it. It's one of my very favourite things. Just making sure nothing's sticking to the bottom or anything like that. It's one of those really old pots, so it does tend to happen. I'll throw it. And then going to add, surprise, surprise, my cream. Give it a bit of a stir, make sure everything's all pushed down there nicely, scrape it all out. And then I'm going to let that come to the boil. Well, not quite the boil, never boiled cream, you'll be very sad. We'll let that come up to heat. While that's happening, I'm going to get my macaroni in. That water isn't quite boiling, but should be okay. I'm then going to add a very good dose of salt. Now, when people do pasta, they really undersalt these things. So I would say, honestly, so 500 grams of pasta and that much water, I'd probably add 2 tablespoons of salt. Pasta is very bland on its own. Salt. I'm going to let that cook out. Now again, I'm not going to make you guys sit through 15 really boring minutes of this pasta coming to boil. But what I do is once this cream is up to temp, which almost is, try to use a bit of a wider base pan. Okay. I'm going to add the cheese. So what I've got here is a nice 3 blend. 3 cheese blend, so I think it's a little bit of Parmesan, cheddar, I want to say mozzarella. Can't remember, but any of those blends will do. Use what cheeses you love. But one of the things that I do is once it's all melted and ready, I let my sauce sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, which is why I've only just put the pasta on. I like to let it settle that little bit. So I can smell that cheese already coming up. And what you've already got is a nice thick sauce. So there's no need for roux and flour and mucking around. It's nice and thick. So basically we're just continuing to stir it until all the cheese breaks down and we've got a nice emulsified sauce. Be very, very wary not to boil it because you will split the cream, which means you'll have those big oily globules on top of the dish. So nice and saucy. The thing you got to remember, particularly if you look at packet mac and cheese and a lot of these things, a lot of these sauces will thicken a little bit after you're done cooking them. So we have this tendency to over thicken things quite badly. So a little salt and pepper in that, always, because seasoning is super important, and pepper and cream are made for each other. So that's pretty much good to go in my mind. Okay, nice and simple. Some beautiful flavours in there. Spread my own roll. Stunning. Absolutely perfect. Alright, so I'm going to pull that off, sit it off to the side. It'll continue to cook slightly. Once that pasta's ready, I'll drain it and I'll show you what it's going to look like at that point. Chat soon. Alright folks, how are we? Welcome back. So I'm about to just strain off the macaroni. So, will it cook off beautifully? Now, I want to show you guys something in a moment. But what happens when you're not paying attention while you're cooking any sort of pasta? So when you put pasta in the water, it's a very, very, very smart idea to stir it and just to get it moving, which stops it from sticking together. I have some lovely big clumps of macaroni because I failed to stir it. Nobody wants that on their plate, but it is what it is. We'll give it a bit of a stir, and then when I add the sauce, hopefully it'll come together well. So this is the sauce. I did set it off to the side to try and avoid pests and what do you call it? Flies. Now you're going to think it's not a lot of sauce for that much pasta. We don't like a overly cheesy mac here. Some want all the cheese in the world. That's fine. Double the amount of cheese, triple it, quadruple it, add a tiny bit more cream. Do what you want. This is a really base recipe, and typically what I'm going to probably put on the recipe for you guys would be this exact amount of sauce, but with probably 2/3 the amount of pasta. We make it a little bit lighter here, but you make it to suit you. So whether you add a little bit, subtract a little bit, that's the brilliance of what I'm trying to do for you guys, is offer you recipes that are very, very simple. What's this actually look like on a plate? Oh, let's have a look, shall we? There we go. So what I personally love about it is that you've got sauce covering the whole lot. Pardon the chipped plate there. That's my tea time. No pups, this isn't for you. I would then, personally, good dose of pepper. And that's probably a child serving there, but I absolutely love mac and cheese. This is up there with spaghetti bolognese for things that I'll eat way too much of. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to munch on that while I get about and do the other recipes I'm going to do today. I think with things like this, they're so good for later. They're so good for lunches tomorrow. They're really, really simple, really, really quick, and really, really easy to store. So this will be a little bit of dinner tonight, maybe, if we don't end up eating the pork, or doing lunches tomorrow, dinner tomorrow night, that sort of thing. So it's absolutely amazing for that. All right, guys, we'll chat soon. Have a good one.